and today we're going to look at some advanced tips and tricks for one-handed solves in the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. First off, if you're not already using a speed cube that can cut at least half a piece, this is a major problem because you will find that the cube will get stuck often, and it'll also be hard to manipulate with just your pinky finger. The cutoff time for most competitions in one hand is 45 seconds. This means that if you have two consecutive solves that are above 45 seconds, you'll have to end your average. 45 seconds might sound really difficult, but with the information that I'm going to show in this video and a little bit of practice, you should easily be able to average under 40 seconds. Note that by this time I was already under 20 seconds with two hands, so you should definitely be a sub-30 solver if you want to go to competition in one-hand solves. If you're wondering which hand to use during one-handed solves, since most algorithms use the R motion, I would actually suggest using your left hand, since when you're holding the cube with your right hand, it's actually quite difficult to use this R side, but as you can see with the left hand, it's just a simple flick. First off, let's just go over how to hold the cube. As you probably know, the R and U motions are the most common during solves, so the way we hold this is going to be based around these two sides. Your thumb will go about right here in the divot, not all the way up here on the centerpiece, but just enough to secure all four of these pieces. In the back, your middle and ring finger will just secure these four pieces, sort of like this. I guess this finger here, this finger here. As you can see, this allows our pinky and pointer finger to do the U and the R motions. For the R motion, this is going to be as simple as bringing this corner towards you using your pinky finger. For the R prime motion, you're going to do the opposite and hook your finger around this corner and bring that down. This is going to be pretty awkward at first, but after just a few days of practicing, you'll see that this is really easy. U and U prime are really the same idea, with U prime being bringing this corner towards you, and U being hooking your finger around and bringing it back. You can practice the R, U, R prime, U prime motion to get better at the grip, as well as manipulating the two sides. For the F move, I sort of use my pointer and pinky finger and secure the cube, then I can use my thumb to manipulate this layer. These F moves should really only be used during algorithms. In general, if you ever have to do an F move, you should just turn the cube and then have this be the right side. D moves, I really just do the same as two-handed solves, and then B moves, I honestly just avoid entirely. If you honestly have to, then just move the cube up and then make this the U layer. M movements as well should be avoided because they are very hard to do with one hand. I would suggest learning alternative algorithms to the PLL cases that include these M motions, such as H, Z, and U, so that you won't get stuck when you have these. So now you know how to turn the cube with one hand. Now it's time to implement these into real solves. I'm going to begin with the F2L stage. You should be good at Y motions since this comes up a lot during the F2L stage. When you're inserting pairs into the front and back right slots, you can just hold the cube normally. But if you were inserting pairs into the left slot, instead of trying to finger trick a left motion, you can just simply turn the cube this way. This allows the left side to be on top, and then the top side is now your right side. So now, as you can see, I can easily insert this pair in, and then just flip back, and then look for more pieces. Also, when it comes to your F2L, look ahead is going to be key. It should be even easier to track pieces since in one-handed solves, you're just generally moving slower anyway. If you want to learn more about F2L Look-Ahead, I have an entire video dedicated just to that, and I'll link that in the description. As I mentioned before, when it comes to the last layer, you should just be prepared for any case. This may mean learning different algorithms that are easier to do with one hand. Also, for those of you going into one-handed competitions, here are the general rules. So, you are allowed to use the table in front of you if you want to use it to turn the cube. However, you're not allowed to use any other part of your body. This includes bumping it off of your chest or leg to turn the cube, so I would suggest not practicing it this way. Well, that wraps up today's video. With practice, you too can speed solve the 3x3 with one hand. I hope this video is helpful to you, and for the future, good luck.